Three-time state champion, now in the third year of the Dudley Hilton era, and off to a 3-3 start. Coach, 3 weeks or so ago, we were flying high, 3-0, had a win over Moorhead, a couple of hard-fought losses since then, and you've got an off week this week. I would imagine it comes at a welcome time.
That's for sure, Andrew. We've had a rough 3 weeks. We've played 2 excellent football teams in Lindsey Wilson and Cumberland. Both of them still well. Cumberland finally beat Lindsey Wilson this weekend. I think it's 52-45. So that just shows you what kind of teams they were. And then we went down to Cumberland and we faced a very team that was struggled early in the year, but they've won 3 in a row now. So I thought we played a very fired-up football team, and we just didn't handle some things in the third quarter. We had full control of everything, but just kind of lost the mo. You know, when you lose the mo, it's hard to get it back, and you know, you don't get that second chance in football. You know, in basketball, sometimes you play somebody 2 or 3 times, you got a chance to redeem a loss. But in this football, it's one time a year, and we don't get a chance against Cumberland again this year. But I feel confident if we did, we definitely would have been all right.
You talk about mo and momentum, and it becomes like a runaway train, doesn't it? Impossible to stop.
Well, again, you know, you're talking about this college level that team across the field can play.
Sure.
And once you lose it and they pick it up, and they had a very good crowd, they had a good band, they had their sound system came on certain plays, and it really got their kids up. We just got to react better. We're just not a very good reacting team when we get a good break or when we make a big play, and we're more about business all the time, and that kind of hurt us because we don't do a lot of morale, and we need to be a little bit more morale team. We know we need to be about business too, but we need to get excited about some big plays, and we had some big plays. We had some big time catches, some big time hits, and we got to get a little bit more enthusiasm.
Of course, lost to the University of Cumberland, now ranked number 2 in the nation. Lindsey Wilson as well, a top, I think, 16 team in the latest top 25 ratings. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of with losses to those teams. In spite of, I've talked to some of the players, they felt like that the Bears were a better team than Lindsey Wilson, should have had a win. Obviously, Cumberland U, a 21-point lead in that one, and a couple of players just flat out told me, we let that one get away. And those are the kinds that we have to win. Yeah,
and again, that's kind of, the old story that you've been snake bitten, and I don't know when they're going to quit biting us, but we've been very competitive. I think we was very competitive against Lindsey Wilson, had a chance to win the football game at the end. Definitely this game we just got done with had a chance, should have dominated the game all day long, but the bottom line is that we found a way to make some mistakes, and then we did, and I don't know. We just, we're not the type that we make up excuses why and what. We'll bite our tongue and go on and try again next week. But we got to grow, and we've had our share of injuries and some things that didn't work out for this football team. We're weak in a few positions, and people are now catching up with us a little bit. Know where we're struggling a little bit, but again, our kids are fighters. We're more of a fighting team now than we were when I took this program over with a couple of years ago, and I know deep down we're a better football team. Sometimes a record might not show it, but I still say we're a good football team. We're a solid team. We've lost 5 or 6 games since I've been here, as hard as anybody could lose. And,
sure.
And the one Saturday was one of those. On the end, if you was there, that we had a chance in regulation to win the game, and didn't do it, and I can go to the shorters and one game after another games we had a chance right on the last 30 seconds of the game to win it, and if anything could go bad, it did against our U-Pike Bears.
A loss like that against Cumberland U Saturday, how does that affect Dudley Hilton?
Well, I can't be a good loser. I never have been. It's hard on my family. It's hard on my coaching staff and all, because I just it's just something you don't take lightly. And I'm not a fussing guy. I'm not a this and that. I just I take my losses hard. I've always have, and and it's at my age, it's it's harder now than it was when I was a young man. But we got a chance to rebound back, but I keep telling myself this college business, it's all about education, Andrew, and I can't get down on these kids. I can't say call practice and practice more than I need to, because they need to go to the classroom. They need to get them education.
Sure.
And the football's I don't like to say it's for funds, but that's what's paving the way for them to get an education, and I keep forgetting that, because I think sometimes it should be all about football, but bottom line, it's about education. These kids can be winners if they get in the classroom, get them a college degree here at a fine university, and get them education, and the wins or the losses can help them realize some things in life and make them better people. Sure, we'd like to win and be a good student also, but if we're not going to win, we definitely need to be a good student, and that should be one of our top priorities.
A lot of the fans around the program, folks that may be casual fans of small college football, I think they and we lose sight of the fact that the majority of these guys are not going to play at the next level. But it's our goal that a high majority of these guys perform at the next level, whether it be in business or in medicine, whatever the case may be, that they go on and become successful individuals.
Well, yeah, again, you're 100% right, and that's what we want. And we come to watch us play. I think we're very excited. We do, we got to take the Cumberland game away. We wasn't very excited. I mean, we had 4 days of rest playing the number 2, and I don't want to make up excuses, but we were put in a bad situation, and it turned out to be a bad situation. But this week it wasn't no excuse. But we played hard. We had some real plays. You'll see in the highlights here in a minute. We had some big time players that played. We just got to get everybody playing. One thing we got to do is turn up our momentum a little bit. We got to execute a little bit better, and things going to keep coming for us. But bottom line is, I hope we're putting in some good citizens and some good educated people. And we got 14, 15 seniors going to get their degrees, and when I came here, I think we had 3 the first year and 4 the last. So you got to look at the pluses, and sometimes I know the wins is what they say, pay the bill or something like that. But I think success of our program has been a lot more valuable to this community of some good kids that we've got brought in here. And you're going to interview 2 tonight, and you've interviewed about 10, 20 already this year and in the past years. And anybody listen to our show know we've got some quality coaches and quality players that represent U Pike football very well.
Absolutely, and that's one of the best parts of this program, being able to expose those players and those coaches to the community that may only see them behind a face mask and never get a chance to meet them as individuals and as student athletes, guys with goals for their future in the classroom, academic majors. Some plan to go on to medical school and pursue that field, and we're glad, because as we get older, we're going to need those doctors. We're going to need those guys that go to pharmacy school. We're going to need those physical therapists. We're going to need those guys that can take care of our finances and what have you. But guys with futures, and that's what it's truly all about. But this show, we do talk about football. I think this program has grown as well, not just in graduates that are coming through the program, but this is a team that is exciting to watch, a team that does play hard, building depth, and it is a team that plays hard, and I think it's something that the fans can be proud of with the product on the field. In spite of the record, yeah, I know that's a measuring stick many times, but this team very easily could be 5-1 right now.
Oh yeah, very easily, and we've been in that situation last year. We could almost been there, but
Sure.
But again, I feel like if you look through our conference, there's not too many of them other than Lindsey Wilson and Cumberland that's got a real good record. Georgetown's 2-2,
Sure.
and we got other teams in here 1-5 and 2-3, and no, we're even. It's not like we are 1-4, 1-5, but
Right.
this team could be 5-1. This team worked hard in the off season. They did what it takes to be a 5-1 football team, and of course, the Moorhead game was a big surprise to a lot of people, and that builds people hopes hopes up. And then, and then when you beat somebody like Moorhead, you start counting, well, you're going to beat this one, you're going to beat that one, and you're 5-1 without playing it.
Sure.
Now you're 3-3, and everybody thinks it's disappointment. If I'm 3-3 and we pick out our wins, I'm glad one of them was Moorhead, because that was a top quality football team. They've won 2 big games in a row now, sure. And they're going to come along. And I just feel like we just need to keep growing and keep improving. And I feel good about this football team. I think we're going to get out of this little slump that we're in, and this week off is really going to help us. We're still going out every morning working hard, and we're not taking no day off, but our attitude's going to be a lot better from here on out, I think.
We'll talk about that a little later in the show. A week off before the next game, homecoming with the Bethel coming to town. 5 games remaining. This season far from over. Also, we'll talk with a member of the coaching staff, Corey Chapman, tonight, and a couple of the Bears players. Offensively, Shante Zachary and Dario Bennett from the defensive side, our guest on this edition of the Dudley Hilton Show. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the highlights from the hard-fought overtime loss to Cumberland University. You're tuned to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. Welcome back to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, joined by the head coach of the University of Pikeville Bears. UPike 3-3 on the year, coming off a hard-fought 49-42 overtime loss to Cumberland University in Tennessee. It was a game that the Bears had stretched a lead to 21 points, and only to see Cumberland rally and get the win in overtime. But lots of highlights in this one. And Coach Dudley Hilton, I know it's a hard-fought loss, one that sticks with you. How long does a loss like this stick with the old coach?
Well, it's in this college business, like I said, you got to get rid of it pretty quick, and that's learning. I've tried to push it out of the way. It was a long ride home other night from Lebanon, Tennessee, back to Pikeville, but you go to church Sunday and just get out around people and knowing that the world's going on, the sun's shining, and so you got to go on, and the kids are depending on you to go on and lead them in the right direction, and that's one thing you can't sit around and wallow in it, and so I'm getting a little bit better at it, but I don't like this losing though, that's for sure.
No, you're not. You're not getting any better at it at all. You're a sore loser, and that's exactly what we want out of you. When you become satisfied with losing, we're going to find a new coach.
Thank you.
Because we don't take them very well either. That's what it's all about. UPike, we're looking for wins. We did see a lot of highlights in the loss to Cumberland University. Let's go to the highlights now. We'll get things started with A.J. Graham.
Yeah, we started off good in the game and jumped down about 14-0. Here's A.J. started out with a big pass to Amos. Some real blocking down the field right there. You can see, I think Shante got a block and New Keys. Then we come back. Here's Shante, a big catch here across the middle. It's a big third down, keeping the first drive open and going. A big catch by Shante there. I thought he was a quarterback in high school. Here's the receiver there. Here's another big pass to New Keys. Big time catch right there. New Keys, I thought he had a great job. He did a great job all day. He's a player who's been out for 3 or 4 years and just really getting back into every game. And I think yet this come. Here's Ross making a big sack right here. We just had some letdowns on some defensive plays. We played hard all day. The field position really hurt us second half. Here's another big pass, 56 yards to New Keys down the sideline. This is a major play right here on the side. Got his 1 foot in, and just an unbelievable catch right there. Good job there. I guess it's Amos, little 4-yard pass that he takes in for a touchdown. He knows where that end zone is. Amos does. Really good match. And then here's another pass to. A 14-yard pass to New Keys. Big time play right there. I tell you, he hit some people. He took a little beating himself, but I'll tell you, he did a great job.
Not afraid of the contact.
No, that's for sure. Here's another good pass from AJ to Shante across the middle. You can see Shante took a lick, but the main thing, he held on to the football.
It's the consistency right there. He's not afraid to take that thing.
Yeah, he sure don't, and that's good. And here comes Amos out for another pass down the sideline. Amos had a pretty big day. Been banged up a little bit, but he's come on now. Here's a fake field goal that I think Coach Nardo and Coach Holland worked on a little bit last week. That Jade Haddix threw it out to AJ, and he went down the sideline untouched for an easy touchdown. And that put us up at halftime pretty good right there. And then here comes Watson. Made a big play right here. I think it's a big sack. I don't know how much we said right there, but that was Chris Watson. Another pass right here, right there. Out to Shante again. Good block again by Shantez Johnson and Amos there. I think Shante got about 13 yards out. Seth Miller, he's probably, we depend on him early in the year. He's just been beat up a little bit, but made a good run right here, but didn't play a whole lot. Just still can't get over some injuries. And, we got to have a good health Seth Miller the rest of the season, that's for sure. And here's the Bennett boys. He made a big interception for us right there for the half. We go into halftime with a good lead and feel good about ourselves to come out. Second half, we just had a hard time fighting the field position. We got the back against the wall a little bit, and it was just really hurt us. But here we started out, Taylor Woods forcing a fumble and getting a good break for our offense, give a chance for our offense to score another touchdown. I think it's kind of when we got up 35 and to 14. AJ completes a pass to Amos for 23 yards. I think Amos caught another one for the touchdown. I think Amos had 2 touchdowns on the day. Just good blocking out there. You can see that he had 2 big guys out there blocking for him. And they all got to work together, that's for sure.
They've done a good job of that, all the receivers.
Yeah.
They do block for one another.
Here's Crutcher causes a fumble. I don't know exactly who recovered it there, but again, we got some turnovers second half, give our offense a chance to, not have many yards to go. But Graham rushed for 13 yards right here. Good run. Big body coming down that field. He's got to learn to drop his shoulder a little bit more. Here's a good run by Amos coming across, get a jet sweep, finds a cutback lane. And did a good job there. Another pass from AJ to Newkeese out here. Newkeese, like I said, had a big day. He had one of those days that probably would have got the player of the week if we could have won the football game. John Dudley ended up with 14 tackles. Probably could have won the player of the week again if he won the football game. But we found a way to lose it. And here's Haddix and John Dudley both make a sack right there. And then this is Griffin Boyd that caught Avis there. Caught it good. We thought he didn't step out of bounds right there. That could have been the winning touchdown right there, but they called it. And here's the last play by Richardson making a big catch. So we had a lot of highlights down through. Our kids played hard. We just had some kids let down on a few defensive players that wasn't where they're supposed to be. I still think, I know when you give up that many points that you think we still can't play a lick of defense, but you take 4 plays that was almost 200 yards, you take them out of our thing, our defense played a good football game.
Sure.
We just you can't hide those 4 or 5 plays. Our offense played a great football game, but we still had 2 or 3 drop passes that were easy passes that could have been game-winning plays, and we've got to learn how to make these routine plays. We had some players made plays for us, and we're going to compete. We've got to make plays, and other night I thought we did, but we also had some plays that we shouldn't have made.
Coach, you've been around the game of football for almost 40 years now, and you've got a team that gives up 41 points in a win. You give up 49 points in a loss. Obviously, the Cumberland's game, short week, we're not even going to include that. In the NFL this past week, you saw a 51-48 game. These are NFL defensive players who are supposed to be the best of the best. We're seeing more and more big scores on the college level, in the SEC, in the Mid-South Conference, and the high school level. It's trickled down. What's the reason we're seeing so much big scores on both sides, winning and losing?
Well, I think anytime you see a big score, that team's got a good running quarterback. I think they depend on him. You can't answer for the quarterback when it comes to running. The other day, Cumberland had two quarterbacks. They were so passers, but they were good, hard-nosed running backs.
Sure.
And you can't count for them. You know, Cumberland came up here. They run the option. They had a hard-nosed quarterback that run the football.
Right.
When we go down to Edward Waters, they had a good running quarterback. We were just fortunate to stop him. Lindsey Wilson had a good running quarterback. It's not that AJ's not a good running quarterback. He's a good throwing quarterback, but he's not a too much threat because he's so valuable throwing the ball that we can't cut him up the field so much to run the option, or you know, because we have two little AJs running around. We're hurting. You know,
right.
We just need one big tall one. But you know, that's you know, you take the NFL when they got that good quarterback that, you know, like Peyton Manning, and you know, they know how to handle those things. And I think that's where it all starts. If you're going to score a lot of points, you got to have that quarterback's very smart, and he can run, and he knows that. And you know, again, AJ's going to be a good quarterback for us. He is a good quarterback, but he's been out of it a couple of years.
Sure.
And once he gets a hang of it, and Newkeys get a hang of it, and we can get a little bit bigger running back, then we're going to be, you know, we put a lot of emphasis on offense. All of our big name
Sure.
players are on offense, and most, you know, when you look at people that scores all these points, they got big players, big name players on offense, you know. So, but I always said defense wins championship. We're going to get better defense. I know Coach Williams. I know he's a winner. I know what kind of person he is. You're talking about a sore loser now. They don't come no harder than
right.
him. And he corrects it, and he calls it like it is when he sees it on the film. And, you know, if you show a little chicken, he's going to let you know it. And I think that's what I admire him about it, because he's going to correct our mistakes. And he ain't got his system in yet, Andrew. And I think when he gets it all system in, the kids start buying his system, you're going to see a change in our defense. I've got confidence that we're a lot better defensive team, and maybe the score don't show it, but I feel like we're going to be. We're a few players short on it, and but he's going to take what we got, and I think you're going to see improvement the rest of the year.
Through 6 games, we feel like we already have, and 3-3 could be 5-1, and we've seen that improvement. This Bears team is certainly growing and something to be proud of on the field. Coach Dudley Hilton, you'll rejoin us. We'll talk about the off week and what the schedule's like. We'll step out, and when we come back, we'll talk with running backs coach Corey Chapman. Still to come, we'll step into the Bears den. We'll hear from Dario Bennett from the defensive side, and Shante Zachary, one of the wideouts. We call him Mr. Consistency. It's all still to come on the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. Welcome back in the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and Coach Hilton will rejoin us in just a little bit as we now step away from Coach Dudley Hilton. We get different perspectives now. We'll hear from a couple of Bear players. That's coming up. Stay tuned. Shante Zachary, Dario Bennett, they're coming up on the Dudley Hilton Show. And we also get an opportunity to meet the coaching staff during the course of the season. Joined now by Corey Chapman, running backs coach with the University of Pikeville. Coach, welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
How y'all doing? Glad to be here.
Great to have you as part of the staff. I know Coach Dudley Hilton extremely pleased with his coaching staff. He feels that they are important in the growth of this program, and I know you were a welcome addition. He's talked about you numerous times off camera when we've talked about his coaching staff and how he feels about it. Let's introduce the folks that are tuned in to Corey Chapman. Let's go all the way back to your playing days. When you started playing football, where you played your high school ball?
I played high school ball at South Panola down in Batesville, Mississippi. That's where I started. Then I left there, went to a junior college in Mississippi, Northwest Community College. From there, I left and went to Jacksonville State, which is in the Ohio Valley, where you play rival Eastern Kentucky around here.
Sure.
Then from there, I went to the NFL and played with the Colts,
Right.
with Coach Dungy a couple of years.
Coach Tony Dungy, one of the most respected coaches in NFL history.
Right.
Not just as a coach, but as a man.
Right.
What was that experience like?
I mean, it was a blessing for me to be there and be around a positive guy, someone that can teach me and help me grow.
Coach Tony Dungy, Coach Dudley Hilton, what are some similarities?
Both of them love to have fun, charismatic guys. Both of them got that positive aspect and trying to help the team win. But the biggest thing, they care about their players. That was the biggest thing for me.
And they're both winners.
That too.
That too. This Bears program 3-3 could be 5-1, should be 5-1 in this broadcaster's opinion. Ifs and buts and those things, we still count wins and losses. 3-3 could be, should be 5-1. What's Corey Chapman's thoughts on this team with a break and 5 games remaining?
Well, with the break, hopefully we can get the backfield healthy. Like I said, I coach the running backs, and a couple of my guys are nicked up and banged up a little bit. So hopefully during the break we can rest them and get their legs back up on them. So the next 5 games we can be off the running like we was early on in the season.
Of course, this program's still developing depth. It's on its way.
Right.
But true freshmen can't step into a situation like this in the Mid-South Conference. I don't care who they are. It's tough to step into the Mid-South Conference as a true freshman. It takes a year or two to get those guys ready for the beating that takes place in the Mid-South Conference. Seth Miller, one of the toughest kids we've seen, but banged up a little bit.
Right.
And developing depth at the running back position, where do we stand for down the road, a year or 2 years away?
Right now we have a couple of younger guys that we're trying to step into the mix. I have a guy by the name of Tyler Lovin, Casey McLean, who we're trying to work in the system, trying to get them, a little playing time here and there so they can get a feeling of what the game tempo is going to be like.
Miller, Terrell,
Right.
we've seen Rankin quite a bit, who is a young kid.
Right.
How long does it take for a kid, a running back, that comes out of high school, stud? He's the star of his team. He's the guy that had 2,000 yards rushing in high school. He was Mr. Everything. How long does it take him to adjust to being a running back on the college level?
Well, it all depends on your teammates. If you have a positive team that brings you in and embrace you, some guys can step in right away and carry the team. But right now, we have a lot of young guys who was the superstars on their high school team,
Sure.
who's right now looking for that leader that they can follow and try to build with. And right now, like I said, with the young talent that we have, it's just, a process that they're going to have to grow in.
Going to take some growth. That's what this program's all about. We feel like it's well on its way. Corey Chapman, running backs coach at the University of Pikeville, spent time in the NFL, spent time with Coach Tony Dungy, and you've played on the college level.
Yes, sir.
You've been that guy on the high school level.
Right.
And what experiences have you gained, high school, college, the NFL, that you can pass along to running backs to make them a better player?
Well, basically just my practice habits. I try to teach the guys every day in practice. You have to practice like you play. Whatever you learn in practice, you basically take it to the game. A lot of young kids don't understand that what you do in practice really shows up in the game. So I try to bring that along to show them that, hey, this is what we're going to be doing here and there, and it's going to come up in the game. And so far, the things we worked on, it's been coming up.
Absolutely. The running backs, we've seen a couple of guys, 100 yards each
Right.
in games this year, balanced offensively. And I understand Coach Holland, his play calling very much based on what the defense is giving.
Right.
I mean, it seems teams have tried to shut down the run and force this Bears team to throw. Why, I don't understand, with the wide receivers that we have, the slot guys we have, and a guy like A.J. Graham that can throw it. But they try to shut down the running game. And with Miller banged up, Terrell all banged up through 6 games.
Right.
How healthy are those guys? And coming up on the next 5 games after an off week, how close are they to being 100%?
Well, right now I can't really say, because I mean today we had a light practice and both of them sat out today, you know, trying to heal wounds and whatnot. But I'm just trying to install toughness in them, and hopefully they can, you know, suck it up and just finish the season strong.
Let's talk about that. You've got an off week. It bust routine.
Right.
You fall into a routine of game preparation, a certain schedule. Now with an off week, you've got a chance to get guys healthy. They may sit out a practice. How long can a player sit out and still get the prep work in before the next game on the 19th?
Well, they can basically sit out this whole week. The biggest thing is just getting the mental reps and making sure we stay in the film, watch films, and things like that. But this week is really good because it gives me a chance to develop the younger guys we were just talking about. So if something should happen throughout the season, I can work them guys in.
Corey Chapman, running backs coach at the University of Pikeville, our guest on the Dudley Hilton Show. Spent time with Tony Dungy. I'm not even going to let you go there.
All right.
Greatest influence in Corey Chapman's football life?
Had to be my mom. Days, you know, that when I first started, you know, I really didn't want to play, but she encouraged me and pushed me to continue to play the game. And once I got to playing it, you know, she was just always there for me. You know, when you doing good things, you look in the stand, you can see your mom, you know, pumping you up, wearing your T-shirt and things like that. So she was my inspiration.
There you go. And a lot of guys, I know that's who it is.
Right.
Always there to support us as we grow up. Corey Chapman, going to take you another step back in time. When did Corey Chapman make the decision that he wanted to get into the coaching business?
About 2009. After my last year, 2008, I was sitting back waiting on the call, and I had set a time to say that if I didn't get a call maybe by by 09 or 2010, then maybe I'd take a step in trying to coach or whatnot. So I didn't get a call in 09. I called one of my former coaches, Coach Jack Crow, who was at JSU then, and he advised me to come back and finish school and get into the coaching business.
Sure.
And been here ever since.
Yeah. How did you get hooked up with the University of Pikeville? How did that relationship take place and you land here?
Well, I was applying for some jobs, and I turned around and seen that they had an opening for a running back coach. And me being a former running back, I felt like I had a good shot at it. So, you know, I applied for it, and Coach Hilton and Coach Holland gave me a call, and evidently they liked what they seen, and I'm here now.
What were your first impressions of Pikeville, Kentucky?
It wasn't too bad. When I first ever came to Kentucky, I was in Murray State, so I've been to Kentucky before, so it was nothing new, you know. So when I got here, my goal was just to coach. I mean, it really didn't matter where I was. I just wanted to come in and just, you know, show what express what I love about the game. So it really didn't matter.
We want you here for a long time.
I hope to be here a long time.
Just an old country boy from Mississippi. It's not that different than us country boys from Kentucky.
You're right.
Corey Chapman, running backs coach at the University of Pikeville, our guest on the Dudley Hilton Show. We're glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
We want you here for a long time. We've seen a difference in our backfield already.
Thank you.
Corey Chapman from the coaching staff on the Dudley Hilton Show. It's presented by Appalachian Wireless. When we come back, we'll go to the wideouts, the offensive side. Shantae Zachary, you know him from Bell County, his high school days there. We've tagged him as Mr. Consistency. He's a guy that's not afraid to go over the middle and make that catch. And more times than not, he makes that catch. Shantae Zachary next on the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. Welcome back in. The Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and we'll be rejoined by Coach Hilton as we prepare for an off week and then the Bears taking on Bethel University in homecoming 2013. Right now we step into the Bears den, and an old regular. He's been here before, Shante Zachary, 6-foot junior wideout from Bell County. And Shante, welcome back to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, a lot of our folks, they've had a chance to meet you before without the headgear on. They've seen you crossing the middle, making those catches, fearless receiver who's not afraid to cross the middle, but a chance to meet the student athlete. And because it is student athlete, we talk about that part of Shante Zachary. Let's talk about your major and what some of your academic plans are.
Right now I'm a sports management major, and I'm a senior this year in the classroom, so hopefully I can graduate in May and come back for my senior in football in the fall. Hopefully get my master's then.
Sure.
I have to do an internship with a sports organization, so hopefully I can do something with the football team or the Colts. I'd like to do something with the Colts one day or something like that, and hopefully be a athletic director of a college somewhere. So that's my aspirations as a student.
Favorite NFL team? Did you give us a hint with the Colts there?
No. I really don't have a favorite NFL team, but if I was to choose one, I'd have to go with the Cowboys. So my dad's a really big Cowboys fan. So
Nothing to be ashamed of. I've got a Romo jersey.
I don't.
Sorry about that. Sorry to bring up bad thoughts. It makes me sad as well. Shante Zachary out of Bell County High School. Of course, a lot of folks had a chance to see you play there, guys that follow mountain football, and you were a quarterback in high school. Now a wideout. How was that transition for you to go from quarterback to wideout?
Well, it helps me on the field because, playing quarterback, there's windows that quarterbacks can throw into. So being a receiver now, I could find those windows a little bit better. And I'm not the fastest guy, so I have to use that ability, that skill of mine to, help me catch the ball, get in the open position for the quarterback to see. So
I want to ask a question. When did you first play football? When did you first put the pads on? And who were some of the influences in your life growing up?
Well, in Bell County, you put them on kindergarten.
Yes.
And it's full contact then, so I started in kindergarten and played since then. And my dad was a real big influence on me as a football player, so just looking up to him and, as a football player, it just really helped me as a kid to grow into that sport. So
Bell County, they really put pads on in kindergarten.
yeah.
Are there some big licks? Are there some big hits from kindergartners?
I guess so. I don't know.
I can see you running over somebody.
No, not in kindergarten.
Okay. At Bell County, they take football seriously.
Very seriously.
What was it like to play at Bell County, play on Log Mountain?
Just the atmosphere playing there is something unreal. I mean, 3,000, 4,000 fans every night. It didn't matter who you played, what team came in. There was always a good fans there. And I also got to play under Coach Hilton, and that was, a great experience for me and a blessing. So playing in Bell County football, growing up with it, it just really helped me as a man, become a man, and it was just a great opportunity for me. So.
Did you play other sports in high school?
Yeah, I played basketball, football, and baseball. So
Three-sport guy.
Three-sport guy.
Multi-talented athlete from Bell County, and of course one of the most respected programs in Eastern Kentucky. Coach Hilton coached there, and obviously got a lot of his wins there on Log Mountain. When you were playing high school football, maybe before then, when did you know that you wanted to try to play at the next level?
As a little kid, just seeing other players play and seeing, looking up to older guys and them going off to college and playing college football, and it's something that's built into you as a kid around Bell County. So, and I felt like, as an athlete, that's something that I wanted to do, and it's just from then on, it just helped me out. So,
Saw you in the highlights tonight from the loss at Cumberland University down in Tennessee. You've been around this program. You've seen this program grow. 3-3. Coach Hilton have talked about it. This team very well could be 5-1, but we're not going to bank on that. 3-3 at this point. Tough loss to Cumberland, a game that was in hand, and everyone around it feels like it was one that got away. What was the mood around the team? Number one, post game, on the trip home, and now in practice since then.
Well, post game it was a real quiet bus ride back. Everyone was real down and disappointed in ourselves because we let it get away or whatnot. But we always talk about the losses, so we just deal with them during the weekends. And come Monday, we know it's time to go back to work, start grinding it out again to get ready for their next opponent. But we are off this week and taking it a little light, so hopefully by next week we'll be ready to go, be healthy to get at Bethel.
You get back to light practice today. You've got 5 games remaining. You've got an off week. Do the guys welcome that off week?
Yes, definitely.
Heal some wounds, get rid of some bruises and bangs.
It's also better preparation and take time to watch film, correct our mistakes that we've made from the past weeks, and to build on those and grow on those mistakes. So off week's always a great compliment to have.
5 games remaining. Can this team be 8-3 at the end of the year?
Most definitely.
Jonte Zachary, he's one of our favorites. Mr. Consistency, so well spoken, and a sports management major at the University of Pikeville. Senior year, looking to stick around and go into the advanced field of sports management. Any professional teams out there, sports organizations, he's looking for an internship.
Thank you.
Jonte Zachary right there. He's one of our favorites, 6-foot junior out of this senior in the classroom, junior on the field. We want him back one more year out of Bell County. Shante, best of luck the rest of the season and in your future.
Thank you, Andrew.
It's the Dudley Hilton Show presented by Appalachian Wireless. We'll go defensively. Next, Dario Bennett when the Dudley Hilton Show returns. Welcome back to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and we'll be rejoined by Coach Hilton as we talk about the off week, the schedule, and preparation for homecoming 2013. Bethel University comes to town. That's October 19th. Right now, we stay in the Bears' Den. We go offensively and defensively. We'll go to the defensive side now. Dario Bennett, 5'10", redshirt freshman out of Kissimmee, Florida. Welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Thank you for having me.
Redshirt freshmen don't see a lot of time in many college football programs unless they've got some talent. We're going to talk about that. Your play in finding some playing time in the secondary, but first, student athlete. Student comes first for a reason. What's your academic major and what are your plans?
I'm majoring in communications right now. I'm thinking about getting into broadcasting, like something like this, like this field right here, but in the back end, not like what you're doing right now.
Okay. Because I was a little nervous just now, because anytime someone comes on, communication major, that gets my attention. Broadcasting further gets my attention. And when a guy like you says that they want to be a broadcaster, I'm ready to just give it up. Because one of these guys, you guys will take my place. But you're interested in the communication field, and of course, being around sports, there are a lot of opportunities there. Redshirt freshman, what's your favorite communication class you've had so far?
Right now, Communications 101 is, I think, I don't know, I really don't know his name. I kind of forgot it.
Okay. But you've had a chance to be around some of the things in the communication industry. You've been able to see some of the backdoor things that go on.
Yeah, I really like the electronics and the communication right now. That's what we're learning in one of my classes. So that's a really big thing.
Yeah, a lot of technology here, and sometimes we don't show our appreciation for the guys behind the cameras and behind the scenes, but they do a great job, and they make us look the best they can. And Dario, want to talk about your high school career. Let's go back to Dario Bennett's high school career. Let's talk about your playing days there.
All right. I moved to Florida in the 9th grade, so it was like a brand new start. So the coaches didn't know anything about me, so I played freshman my freshman year. And then after my freshman year, I got moved up to varsity, and I started varsity for all 3 years.
3-year starter?
Yes, sir.
In high school. And where did you play?
Liberty High School.
Liberty High School.
Yeah.
You have some stats that you want to throw out. If you're trying to impress someone right now and you want to talk about your high school days, we all have those.
Oh no, I was first team all conference in my county my junior year, and I made second team my senior year.
Yeah. And Florida loaded with football talent. It
Yes.
is a football state more so than anything else, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, high school football, great talent comes out of the state of Florida. And when we see our Bears roster and we see a guy from Florida, we know they can play. Dario Bennett, immediately you weren't a starter on the first depth chart we saw this year. You're in a role now that you're getting a lot of playing time in the secondary. How did that process take place, and how impatient were you to get more playing time?
I mean, I'm a very patient person, so I could wait my turn, but my turn came up, so I took it.
Taking advantage of it against Cumberland U, you had the interception. Was that your first this year?
Yeah, that was my first.
First college interception?
Yeah.
What was that feeling like?
It was great. I mean, I wanted to score, but, you know, NFL rules.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Dario, we want to talk about how you arrived at the University of Pikeville. It's a long way from here to Kissimmee, Florida.
It is.
And let's talk about how you arrived at the University of Pikeville, the recruiting process.
A couple of my high school teammates came here the year before, so they told me everything about it, and it was like, it's good, it's a good school and all that. So I took a look at it and I was interested, and that's how I ended up here.
When did you make your first visit here?
In like May 2012.
And what was your first impression of small town Pikeville?
I mean, it was kind of a culture shock because I'm like from Florida and
Sure.
this is Kentucky. So, but I adjusted and it's all right now.
Some of the athletes on campus, 600 strong at the University of Pikeville, that have come from other communities, larger cities, have told me that Pikeville being a small town is a positive because it takes a lot of distractions away and they can focus on whatever their sport is and the classroom.
It does. I mean, there's not much you could really do in Pikeville, so it does.
Spend a lot of time in the classroom, obviously preparing for classwork. How much time do you spend in a given week around football activities?
Football, it's like classroom and football. That's all I really do in a week.
Weightlifting?
I had weightlifting today, and then I go to the library tonight to wrap my papers. So
It's like a full-time job.
basically.
What are your football plans? Where does Dario Bennett want to end up?
I'm just keeping it right now. It's college level right now. So if I want to do anything in the future, I'll think about it then.
Yeah. And, of course, going into broadcasting, hopefully going to work behind the cameras and not in front of. I can see this guy taking my job already. I'm a little nervous here already. Dario Bennett, redshirt freshman, got your first college interception. We look forward to many more out of number 27 for the Bears. Let's talk about Dario Bennett and a future goal of yours.
Future goal? I would say one of my current goals right now is graduate with a college degree.
Okay.
Because I'll be the first in my family to really have a college degree and all that.
It's a great goal to have.
Yeah.
Dario Bennett, it's been our pleasure to see you on the field, getting more playing time, getting his first interception. We'll look forward to many more in your career here at the University of Pikeville. Before I let you go, got to ask the question: who's the most influential person in your football life?
Football life? I was saying my high school coach, Coach Masco. Oh, sorry. High school coach, Coach Masco, he was very strict. So he was always afraid to mess up. So he always got me right. So I would say him.
What are some similarities between your high school coach and Coach Dudley Hilton?
There's really not that much.
No?
He's Coach Dudley's really nice, and Coach Masco's straightforward and mean and stuff.
Yeah? He was listening. I got a feeling you may get another dose of Dudley Hilton in tomorrow's practice. Dario, welcome to the University of Pikeville. It is good that you're on our side. We've seen the talent out of you already, and we look forward to a great career.
Thank you.
Dario Bennett. He's a 5'10" redshirt freshman defensive back out of Kissimmee, Florida, our guest on the Dudley Hilton Show. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Coach Dudley Hilton rejoins us. It is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Welcome back in the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. Rejoined by Coach Dudley Hilton now as coach an off week, and that's certainly a bust routine. But also, I would imagine 6 games in, guys banged up, bruised up, some nagging injuries. It gives you a chance to get healthy.
Well, again, you're right. We've got our share of our nagging injuries, but if we can get them healthy back, we're a good football team, and I know we are, and we're gonna, I think we're gonna compete here the last 5 games of the season, and I'm excited about it. In the past, I think these injuries just cost us so much that we almost had to fold our tent up. We just wasn't a very good football team. Sure. Now we're not like that, Andrew. I think we got a little depth there. We got a big JV game out here Thursday. It's going to give a lot of kids opportunity to play, that we can get a first-hand look at them, and we'll be a little bit stronger JV team we've been in the past, because we got some kids we need to look at because they hadn't had a chance to play, because backing up some of the older boys. But we're going to get to look at them this week, and but we got to get healthy and get guys back in a rotation, and and just keep working at it.
This team that close, being 5-1, very close. Bethel comes in on homecoming. We expect a great crowd here for homecoming. Founders Week, the inauguration of James Hurley as the president, Parents Weekend, should be a great crowd.
Yeah, it should be a great crowd. And last year Cumberland whooped us pretty good, and we come back and got beat in overtime this year. Bethel gave us a good whooping last year. I mean, we wasn't even in the ball game. But we'll show up this time because we're here in Pikeville, Kentucky, and like you said, a lot of festivities going on, and I know President Hurley be the main one, but we'll be the second in line that everybody be watching and caring about, and I'm excited about trying to redeem ourselves from an embarrassing loss at Bethel last year, that we'll be ready to play this year.
Teams 3-3. Bethel, October 19th, 1:30 kickoff at the Hambley Complex. Coach, let's reel off about 5 straight.
Well, that's what we're going after. We're going after number 1 and Bethel homecoming, and we're going to bring in President Hurley in a good way.
There you go. Coach Dudley Hilton, he's our coach of the U-Pike Bears. 3-3, off this week. The Bears back in action October 19th, 1:30 kickoff at the Hambley Complex in Pikeville, hosting Bethel University, and it is homecoming. October 19th, mark your calendars. We want to see you in orange and black at the Hambley. On behalf of Coach Dudley Hilton, Corey Chapman, the running backs coach, and the players, our guests today, Shante Zachary and Dario Bennett, all the guys behind the scenes at East Kentucky Broadcasting and Pike TV, I'm Andrew Joyce. Thanks for tuning in to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless.